Honor, Huawei's brand for digital natives, has announced the Honor 9. Shiny, but only available in China so far. It'll get adapted for the rest of the world in time. Specs include a 5.1-inch 1080p LCD display, a Kirin 960 chipset, 4 or 6 gig of RAM and a dual camera setup. The fingerprint scanner is on the front, iPhone style, and the headline feature seems to be the coloured glass and general cosmetics, but the Honor 8 was a cracking phone, and I'm sure this will be too. Apple's WWDC 2017 saw a load of new features unveiled for iOS 11 for all iPhones, plus even more for the iPad. There's a redesigned App Store and a dramatically restyled control centre, packing the previous swipeable panels into one, impressively. The lock screen and the notifications view are now one and the same. Nicely done, plus the Messages app has been updated with a new sticker-filled app drawer and an Apple Pay peer-to-peer feature that lets you pay contacts via iMessage. The camera software has improved image quality in normal and portrait modes, together with high-efficiency image file format HEIF that reduces the file size of photos. Moving away from native JPEG scares me just a little, though no doubt you'll be fine within Apple's ecosystem. Finally, iOS 11 brings Do Not Disturb while driving. When activated, it'll send people trying to get in touch with you a note to say that you'll see the message when you arrive at your destination. All this will be released to the public in September 2017, ahead of the new iPhone 7s and iPhone 8 announcements. After 3 major reviews, it's time to take stock and do a little catching up here on the Phone Show, with my top 5 phones that I'd recommend people take a look at in the world right now, by my reckoning. And as usual, something for everyone, all sizes, all tastes, all budgets. Honest, I'm looking here for capabilities, for survivability in everyday life, for value for money. Oh, and I'm not allowing multiple sister devices in a range, so only one iPhone, only one Moto Z, for example. I even have something of a theme, which you'll detect as I go on. The usual caveat over some of the phones I've been using recently, personally. Here from 2015 is the most capable and flexible Lumia, the 950 XL, with a camera that's still the envy of everything else in the phone world in terms of image quality, plus superb display, replaceable battery, but it runs Windows 10 Mobile, and that's currently well a bit stalled. Plus just about every other niche app you might want, or even Snapchat, isn't available, so you have to go via the Edge web browser rather more than you'd like. Then there's the ZT Axon 7 here from 2016. I've been talking a lot about this smartphone on various podcasts. It's a winner in every single department except one. The super stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, the high power headphone jack, the advanced high amplitude microphones, an excellent QHD AMOLED display, a decent Snapdragon 820 chipset, plenty of storage, plenty of RAM, good camera with OAS. The catch? Actually buying one that's fully supported, in the UK at least. I had to jump through lots of hoops to get this one, as discussed on Phone Joe Chat. I note that you can get these from Amazon Germany if you're in Europe, but you'll have to do your own research, and my support concerns here are enough to prevent a top 5 recommendation. Bubbling just under my top 5 before anyone complains are the new HTC U11, which I can't recommend until I've at least tried it, the Google Pixels, both of which are still over-bezeled, overpriced and under-speakered, and a whole host of Xiaomi, Huawei and Honor smartphones, all of which are very well spec'd, but all of which have distinct slippery styling and slippery software to boot, pun intended. On to the top 5 then. At number 5, I can't ignore the iPhone completely, but I'm becoming more and more disillusioned by Apple's new ideas and hardware designs, which is why I wanted to go sideways a step to last year's classic SE, reviewed in Phone Show 276, with current camera tech and chipset, yet with the classic flat-sided metal design that I loved, with a 3.5mm headphone jack, and most of all, it's a phone-sized phone, the most powerful, truly compact phone in the world, perhaps. And it's half the price of most other iPhones, just £380, all in now in the UK. At number 4, the 18-month-old Nexus 6P here in the lovely Bug Droid case, the 2015 model, the Nexus, pure Google and pure Android running Oreo here at the moment under the beta program, superb camera and good loud stereo speakers top and bottom, left and right. Enough for me to pick this over the more recent Pixels. Yes, really. And easy to pick up second-hand now for a third the cost of a new flagship, so keep your eyes peeled for the 6P near you. At number 3, the LG G5. What's this, last year's model again? Yes, despite the slightly iffy join between the main phone and the replaceable bottom, my Disappointments with the new, thinner G6 camera mean that I'm tempted to recommend last year's G5, with better camera, at least the option of replaceable battery, and still great internal specs with a Snapdragon 820. I reviewed it in Phone Show 280. It has Nougat now, Android 7, and making the 2016 LG G5 not bad value at £400-ish, and I'd bet you can pick up spare batteries on the cheap too now. At number 2, the Moto Z Play, the best implementation of a modular smartphone ever. And for the 4th phone in a row, I'm going to recommend last year's model, but I'll come to that in a moment. The Moto Z range is designed around a common form factor and a system of pogo pins on the back with magnets holding on an extra battery, extra speakers, even an extra camera. These are called mods and they fit all the phones in the Moto Z stable. The original Z, reviewed in Phone Show 282, was expensive and ridiculously thin, but the subsequent late 2016 Z Play had a beefy battery, a power-efficient processor, and a 3.5mm headphone jack, all missing from the thin original. Expect to pay over £300, maybe even near £400 for the newer Z2 Play, though you don't really need the update, which has a smaller battery, so get last year's Z Play and save money. Those mods are still applicable, and I love the idea of choosing which one to snap on in a heartbeat. But my number one, bringing things bang up to date, I thought Samsung was dead to me after TouchWiz, after over-sharpened camera images, after exploding phones, yet along comes the company with a genuine slice of the future. We've been looking for near bezel-less phones for years, but the Galaxy S8 range does it for real and in the mainstream. There are 2 phones. I reviewed the S8 Plus in Phone Show 308 and it impressed me in almost every department, yet the smaller S8 is the one to get. It's amazingly compact for a phone with a 5.8-inch display. And yes, I know the narrower aspect ratio skews the math slightly. It's smooth, manageable, pocketable, and all the speed and capability of the larger devices here in the smaller form factor. True, the Galaxy S8 is expensive. True, the biometrics are a pain. Where is it? There we go. But I'm still happy to put this at number 1, and I'd bet that next year's Galaxy S9 will have the biometrics licked, and that there's a good chance it will be number 1 here in June 2018.